It's the Deets in association with What's Good Calgary, starring your host, Duddy Does It, featuring Nicole Tomney.
I can see it.
These glasses are tripping me out. It feels like I have a VR headset on and I'm not actually in the room right now.
Doesn't it give you like more confidence though?
No.
No?
It's I don't know. I want to like slap at my face and get them off. Yeah. How do you feel? Comfortable with the...
Yeah, I feel, yeah.
You do a lot of interviews?
I did not a long time ago, I guess not that long ago, but in the beginning of like my career, so many. But it was like before podcasts, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like YouTube or TV or like CTV Global, yeah, like all that kind of stuff. So I did a ton of
cooler than this.
Actually, I like this better.
Really?
Yeah, because it's catered to the right people.
What was it like, those kind of interviews? Like, what's the prep time when you get there?
Basically, you get like you do like your hair and makeup in the back kind of area, usually an hour before. And then they kind of give you like a little lowdown of like what you're going to do on the stage and like all that kind of stuff. And then like introduce you to like the anchors and whatever. And then it's like, go. Yeah. Because it's like live news, right?
Just like a couple minutes?
Yeah. So you're pretty much standing there waiting for your cue and then just hope for the best. So.
Well, we're rolling, so we can get started now.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Nicole. Do I just keep looking at you?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to try again. I'm like looked right at the camera.
You can look anywhere.
Okay. My name's Nicole, and I am the owner, designer, creator of NRT Fashions here in Calgary.
That's good. People don't like when I throw it at them to introduce themselves. I think I'm going to start introducing people.
It's good to like, it feels like more comfortable being like, today we have.
Yeah.
But then again, if you don't want to be that vibe either, right?
So thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So a little bit of background on you. Can you start how you got into, actually, what you do and then how you got into it?
Yeah, so I am a clothing designer. I guess, I don't know, sometimes I consider myself a fashion designer over a clothing designer or like a seamstress. But basically I make custom clothing for, well, anyone. I've done men's, women's, anything, but mostly women's wear now, for about 11 years now here in Calgary, actually.
I bought a shirt from you once.
You did? Yeah.
I love it. My son wears it now.
That's amazing.
But it's cool. So you do custom, I see you do a lot of wedding.
Yeah, that was not my intent at all, to be honest with you. Like that's almost like an alter ego, to be honest. But bridal just took me in a direction where I could make kind of that couture style dresses and clothing and outfits that I wanted to and get paid for it, to be honest with you. Because when I was doing runway shows, like I wanted to be Alexander McQueen. Like that was the goal.
I don't know who that is.
He's just a big designer.
Sorry.
Who else am I gonna, I don't know.
I don't know any.
Just a big designer.
Yeah.
But like that's the goal. And I always wanted to work for myself, but like, I would do fashion shows. I wanted to work with musicians and stuff, but like there's no money. There's no money. And like if there is, I did not find it because it was just so much work. And then one day someone asked me to make a wedding dress and I was like, you know what? I could do this.
How did that get so popular for you? Just referrals from that one?
100% referral. I started posting about making wedding dresses and I think a lot of my clientele was like, and is to this day, like alternative kind of crowd. So I think that what happened is brides were looking for something different. Like I do a ton of black and red and green and all kinds of colored wedding dresses. So I think brides were looking for something different and they saw that I could kind of incorporate my style into bridal and it just clicked really well.
What percentage do you do like custom clothing versus the stuff that you pre-make and sell? So
it kind of depends because it's sort of a weird dynamic because everything I do is on Instagram. Like that's just been my go-to for everything. It's been harder lately. I'm like, how old am I? I'm not a TikToker, like real person, but here we are. My kids are usually in the background while I'm like taking videos of myself.
That probably helps.
In my outfits.
Yeah.
But I would say I create stuff just to create it. And then if it sells, it sells. And then I would say the base of everything is custom though. Like it's people coming to me either wanting something that I created to be custom fit to them, or coming to me because they want something recreated, but like with a different style top or a bottom or something like that. So it kind of mixes stuff together.
So when they go to you for something custom, do they choose, like, do they give you a general idea, or you?
It depends on the client. Like there's always like a base of inspiration for sure. Like I'm like, get some Pinterest photos. You're not going to look like that, but we're going to pick some things from that to like get the style from it. And then we kind of add in my flair and what they're looking for. And then I do a sketch, which like gives them the idea of what we're actually going to create. And then you like get to custom pick your fabric and fit and all that kind of stuff too.
So let's go through the process.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, let's say someone comes to you, how long does it take? What's your process from start to finish?
Wedding dress and custom like outfit are two totally different things. So basically, the process of a wedding dress is a lot longer. So it's about a year. So people will come to me with some ideas. We'll start bouncing stuff around, do a consultation, put together a whole bunch of styles, and then come up with a sketch and then pick fabric. And then there's probably like, oh my gosh, anywhere between like 2 to 10 fittings, just depending on like how things are going. But with something that's like a more basic custom piece, I kind of haven't been doing a lot of like that style lately. It's more like people wanting stuff that I've been creating, and then customizing it for them, which is a little bit more like, okay, this is what I want. This is the price. Come in 2 weeks. See ya.
So do you have like some options where they, like, you've designed something and they choose the fabric? Yeah,
like I have stuff, I'll do like a spring line or a fall line, but it's very loose compared to like what you're supposed to do. I think that's always been something that I did a little bit different, is I just kind of make whatever I feel like at the time. Yeah. And then I'll pick certain things that are popular to go on my website, and then you can get it in size or different color fabric or whatever.
Do you still have that coat that was
I do,
popular?
the Vengeance coat. Yeah, honestly, I'm like, keep it going until, because there's new people every day. Like you think you get out to this big crowd when you're on Instagram because you have, a decent amount of followers. There is so many more people in the world than your little,
How much
following.
of your clients are from Calgary versus?
I'd say like 90%, to be honest with you. Like it's mostly, but then I'll get Vancouver. I'll get a lot of like Calgary or I guess Alberta, like area. Edmonton's huge. Like that's a huge one for me actually, for bridal especially. And then I've like last year I did some stuff in Chicago for a bride. She's a great client, so she orders tons of stuff. I've sent wedding dresses to Portland, I think. Bunch of different places, but it's not as like much for sure.
That seems like it would fit the Portland vibe.
It did. Yeah. She was cool. She was very alternative. So it's cool.
So are you from Vancouver?
No, actually I'm from Calgary.
Oh.
And then when I wanted to be a fashion designer, I either was going to do New York, but no, that was like way too much money. Vancouver just seemed to be the place to go. So I applied at a school there that was like a very small school. There was only about 10 students, and they were like really focused on sewing and tailoring and stuff, which is what I love. Like that's the reason why I wanted to do it. Yeah. So I moved out there when I was 19.
And you went to 2 schools?
Yeah. So the first school that I went to actually ended up like taking our money. And leaving us high and dry, like middle of semester. Thankfully, another school took us on. There was only like 8 of 10 of us, I think, that actually like decided to continue once that whole thing went down.
What did the school go to?
I don't know what happened. They felt really bad, so actually like the teacher and the principal did email me because I was the only one who like came from a different city. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Like there was some weird drama with some like teachers and students and like some weird stuff going down. So, I called up another school in Vancouver and was like, hey, this is what happened. Like, do you guys have room for me or us or anything? And actually Blanche McDonald took us on, all of us, and like made special class for us and everything so that we could finish our program.
That's amazing, because there's probably a long wait list or
it was wild process. And we were halfway through the like first school year or whatever. Like I only did a 2-year program, so it wasn't a huge, like long, whatever. I kind of just wanted to like get in, get out and start things up. But yeah, they were really great. It wasn't the program that I like anticipated because I wanted that smaller school to really like get the one-on-one and stuff. But they were great. They took us on. We got to do the whole design program. So
did you think about staying in Vancouver after?
I did and I didn't. It just wasn't my scene. I don't know why. I think just my like style is very different from Vancouver style. It felt very Lulu's and Aritzia, and that's just not my thing. Like I'm very.
You could make like bubble vests.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Raincoats and.
You could put a little skull on it though.
There you go.
Yeah, that's probably
that's
missing.
True.
Right?
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wanted to stay there, but I didn't. I was gonna go to Toronto. Actually, I got a job offer there, but I didn't want to work for someone. I just wanted to work for myself, so I moved back to Calgary within probably 6 months, actually.
Yeah. And then it seemed to work out for you.
It really did. I think what happened is I kind of tapped into something that wasn't here. So, you know, there's always the like big fish, little pond kind of analogy. So it was easier for me to kind of be something different where there wasn't as many, you know, designers here.
How long did it take you for that to be your job? Was it right away? You didn't?
No, so I was bartending and serving and that whole fun thing.
It's good for networking.
It was good, actually. Yeah, it really was. And then 2014, I feel like I was like, you know what, I either jump like head first or I keep doing this. And I did not want to keep up with that bartending lifestyle. Like it was just
the hours.
I'm getting home at 4 in the morning and like, you know, you're drinking and
I had
whole thing.
like months where I didn't see the sun.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's the thing. So I'm like, I can't continue this and I don't want to. So I just quit and jumped head first and it somehow worked.
Like right away after you quit?
It did. Yeah,
nice.
To be honest with you, there was like a little bit of a fashion scene at the time. Like Alberta Fashion Week was like a thing. And I came in guns blazing and it worked because it was so different. And then I started the Drop Dead stuff and that just like took off.
That I heard a lot about it quickly.
Yeah, it was just like in your face, right? So I think it really worked. I never expected to make a logo on t-shirts and hoodies, but what it did was get everybody to like it caught your eye and then you saw what I actually did. And that was what
how did you come up with that with the Drop Dead stuff?
Honestly, I don't really know. I think I was just at a little bit of like an angry single time and I was like Drop Dead. Like I don't want to swear right now, but like Drop Dead.
You can swear a little bit.
Well, I would go for not a good one. So
I had a fan question. If you plan to bring back your what was it? I don't know where my clipboard is. Normally I have a clipboard.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Fan questions on there.
Fan
questions. Oh, are you planning to bring back your Kill Valentine shows?
Oh, okay. To be honest with you, I would like to. I'm actually dropping the next kind of t-shirt logo line, which is a little more catered to the bridal, but still my kind of OG ode to the old stuff. And it's going to be, I guess like a meet in the middle of bridal and Drop Dead.
Do you feel a little less edgy now that you have a kid and married? And
I do not.
Okay.
Nope. Good. To be honest with you, I thought maybe it would go down that road because it's very difficult to try and kind of find yourself after being a mom, to be honest. But I feel like I kind of step more into that of myself, and I'm like don't want to be a typical mom quote.
Do you have 2 kids?
I do. Yeah.
And are they just hanging out while you're working?
Yeah. So my son is 3.5 and my daughter is 1. And they have been full-time at home with me since they were born. So I've been working full-time and mom full-time.
Do you make a little gas mask child line?
Actually, I did. I actually did a couple of the Drop Dead things, and then my son found one of the like gas masks from my fashion shows back in the day, and he runs around wearing the gas mask when I'm working. And he's
There's
like,
probably a
"Mommy."
good market for that too.
To be honest with you, it felt a little bit like morbid for sure. So I was like, should I send him to the park and drop dead? I don't know, but I don't care. So yeah. For sure.
I like that. So how has it changed your work? Has it?
It has, just in the sense of like trying to, I guess the biggest thing is like trying to find the time for sure, because it's very tiring being a parent.
Yeah.
But it's more like now I'm kind of finding that I'm working to work as opposed to working for fun and like to create. It's a little bit more like, hey, you got to get this done on a deadline. And then my kids are like running buck wild in the basement.
Are you going to teach them?
My son's so cute. He'll sit at the sewing machine. And now my daughter just started. They're very interested in it. I mean, if they want to learn, have at her. My son seems very like, he plays the drums and guitar and he's very into that scene.
I made a tote bag once.
There you go.
In home ec.
I won the home ec award. That's what
mine
started
wasn't
it all.
good. Mine wasn't good at all. But that would be interesting to start them young.
I love it. Sewing is like such a dying art, to be honest with you, and it's not something that I would say your parents would push you to be a fashion designer. Like that's not really, so it's kind of cool if they can, and even if they don't get into it, just having this skill or knowing, what mom does is kind of cool too. So
what was your inspiration to start?
You know what? I feel like it was a kind of a combination of things. I just really enjoyed sewing when I got into like home ec and stuff. I thought, okay, I'll take fashion when I get into high school. And actually at St. Francis, they had a fashion show. And I just like jumped head first and was like, I'm going to make 8 outfits. I don't even know how to do it. I just cut out stuff from like putting clothing on fabric and cut it out and sewed it up. And I really enjoyed it. And then I tried to, I was in like acting and modeling and all that when I was younger. And then I was like, I'm going to be a model. That just wasn't for me. And then I realized I didn't care about being a model. I just wanted to make the clothes and wear the clothes. So
I modeled for a bowling alley once.
A bowling alley.
I did some modeling, whatever. Yeah, no, I was on a brochure.
That feels on brand.
Yeah.
Bowling.
Well, I'm not tall, so they got low angles while I'm bowling.
There you go. Okay.
Wow,
couldn't tell your height. Yeah.
What about celebrity inspiration?
Oh yeah, I was like so hard on the Marilyn Manson thing for so long, and I honestly still like, he's been a huge inspiration for me for my
Didn't you
career.
meet?
I did. Yeah, I made a jacket for him, and then he had an opening band, the Butcher Babies, and I made some outfits for them, and then happened to get to meet him and give him a jacket.
How could you? Oh, and you met and you had the jacket ready?
I was like, this is it. We got to do this. So I made him a jacket, guessed his size, and brought it in, and he put it on, and that was a really cool moment.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like your hero. And then what? You've met everyone.
Well, I was like, oh my God, now what? Yeah, it was great. You know what? I really wanted to create clothing for musicians. Like that was something that I really wanted to do when I first kind of got into fashion. And I actually did a music video in Cabo. They flew me out there, and it was a band from Vancouver, and that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then I did another video in Vancouver for like a rock band, and I kind of did a lot of stuff like that. Again, though, it was just, unless you're some high up, I don't know, but they weren't paying. So I was doing everything on my dime.
Paying in exposure? Or?
That is the thing. So if, exposure, but like, what is exposure? Yeah. You need to get your client, you need people to purchase your stuff, not, fangirl over you doing something for whatever musician, right? So that was kind of the direction where I was like, I need to make this into a business if I want to continue to like just do this.
Did you have to pay for the materials?
Oh yeah.
And everything?
Oh yeah. Fully, everything was like, I got flown out to Cabo, which was so cool at like nice. 22, and it was awesome. But everything was on me for sure for everything that I did music wise. So
when did you were on a TV show?
Yeah. Stitched. Yeah.
How old were you at that point?
So that was 2018. I don't know how old I was.
Whatever. You don't need to answer. What year
I
was
don't
that?
care. I'm 34 4. Okay. 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool. It was kind of crazy. I ended up winning, which was cool.
Spoiler.
I know, but it was like years ago. I feel like if you watched it, you watched it. If you didn't, I don't even think it's out there anymore, to be honest.
I actually looked for it last night and it was kind of hard to find.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
I do remember.
There. Yeah.
I forgot about that for some reason.
It was really, you know what? It was interesting. It was really cool to win because.
And you weren't on the original cast, or what happened?
So what happened is someone reached out to me through email, through my website, saying I should apply for this show. And I never wanted to do that because I felt like as soon as you do that, you put yourself on display. And if you mess up, like that's, your clients are watching that, and that's kind of like, oof, right? Or you just look like an idiot. And I was like, I'm not doing that. But they reached out and I thought, you know what? I'll apply. I'm sure whatever, it'll just be a joke. So I applied. I made it through the next round and they had some auditions in New York and Toronto in person. And I'm like, you know what? I want to go to New York. I might as well just fly out and do the audition at the same time kind of thing. So I did. And when I was in there, I kind of felt weird. Like, why did they ask me to do this? Like, I feel like they don't like me. And
was it like a lineup like how you see on shows, I don't know, American Idol or The Voice, like down around the studio?
Except you had a rack with all your clothes on it.
Oh.
But yes, it was like
everyone had rolling racks?
Yeah, exactly. So everyone had rolling racks in this like little studio in New York, and you waited your turn to go in and sell yourself. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I just felt off about the whole thing when I was in there. I felt like these people do not like me. Like it was weird. And then sure enough, I got the email that I did not make it. And I was like, what? And I was so thrown off because I was like, I didn't really want to do this like to begin with. Like you guys reached out to me. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. I was like really weirded out by it. And then probably 6 months later, I got an email saying like, we would really like to have you, something with, the casting or whatever it was. Do you want to come out in like 2 weeks and film?
That's crazy.
But I thought,
yeah,
are they trying to like embarrass me or like, is there something weird? So that's all I could think of. So then I was so stressed about it. And I thought, God, these people must be so good because maybe I'm really not as good as I like think, I guess. Mm-hmm. And
did someone just drop out or something?
I honestly to this day have no idea I didn't ask. I just went in and was like super nervous, and to be honest, it was like the coolest experience of my life. Like I've never had more fun than those couple days.
It was only a couple days.
Yeah, so they flew me in and flew me out within like 4 days. And the entire time was, because I made it to the end, the entire time was filming.
So they how long did it air for?
Like from filming?
Like,
there was like
how many episodes?
Yeah, I think there was 11. I was the final.
Oh, okay.
So I think I was the final. Yeah.
So like 1 day would be a couple episodes kind of thing?
So the way they did it was like each set, someone won.
Mm-hmm.
So basically one episode was the full thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically start to finish one episode, which would have been 3-4 days of filming,
mm-hmm.
and then compiled into kind of the one.
So what did you do on that show? What was it?
Yeah, so it was just like a Project Runway thing, and honestly, it was so cool. It was like you walk in and there's sewing machines and everything, and then they have like behind a curtain all the fabrics and like the challenge for the day. Mm-hmm. So there was 4 of us, me, Andy. Yeah, so there was 4 of us competing, and so they like drop the curtain and they're filming right away, and they're like, okay, first challenge, you got 6 hours, go. And it was like some flower thing or whatever. It was just so fun. Like I had so much fun.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, like I enjoyed the pressure of it because that's kind of like how I like to work, is like under pressure like that. So it was really cool to get to do that because I felt like I was in my element of like cutthroat, like down to the wire, get it done or you're done.
Were you nervous?
I was until I walked in there. Like I could have just crawled out of my skin until, but I think it was because of the events leading up to it, like getting cut and stuff like that. I just felt a lot of pressure, thinking like, why am I here now?
Yeah. That is crazy that just after 6 months and they
just random,
make you come
And
2 weeks from then?
And it totally changed, obviously, the course of my life because I won, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gave like some good credibility for sure. Clients all the time bring it up, which is cool that they've seen it and stuff like that.
What happened after you won? Did you stay there for a while?
No, I right straight home. And then you weren't allowed to tell anyone till it aired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long was it till it aired?
April, May, June, July, August, 6 months, 8 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 8 months. You like obviously told a few family members, but yeah, you weren't supposed to tell anybody kind of thing. So, yeah. So
did you have a contract or something?
Yes. Oh yeah. Full on do not tell anyone or you forfeit like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, TV stuff.
So what opportunities came from that?
To be honest, because it only ended up airing in Canada, it wasn't like some crazy thing that like, you know, skyrocketed my career. I just feel like it gave, if it would have been international, then yeah, maybe, but it wasn't. It just gave some like credibility and like a cool thing to add to the resume, I guess. That was kind of what I felt like it gave me. Did
you get any new like contacts through that?
I did for sure. Like I feel like I get certain things come up where I'm like, oh, I think this is because of that, I guess, or like they noticed me through that, or like the network kind of thing. Like I feel like some little things have come up for sure, but nothing huge, which I anticipated maybe that would be like a big thing. Like when you see Project Runway, you're like, oh wow, you know. But I think in the scheme of things, it was just like a smaller kind of Canadian production, I guess.
It seems really fun. And
yeah, I loved it.
That's so exciting.
And that was a big thing for me. I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed myself and I won. So like, great.
So back to the wedding dresses.
Yeah.
Are a lot of people buying black wedding dresses from you?
Yeah, I did 8 last year.
Is that your most popular?
I love it. Honestly, it is and it isn't. Like I definitely have not done, like I've done more not traditional because they're all still very like different, but I'll get maybe like 5 to 8. The 8 was the most black ones in like an entire year that I did. But it's becoming more popular, which is cool, but also just like adding color in general. Like this year I have like 4 green. Yeah. And black or whatever.
So are they like theme weddings?
No.
Or they're just a regular?
Just regular.
Wedding?
Yeah. Everything's, I mean, a lot of times it's like Halloween, but not Halloween like themed or anything like that. But no, I just find it's like people just want to wear something different. They're not into the traditional.
I wore husky socks.
See?
Yeah. A little bit of personality.
There you go.
I didn't show anyone.
That's the thing though, but everybody wants a little something different. So
what,
it's cool.
I didn't see what did you wear?
3 dresses.
Oh, you had 3 dresses.
I had 1 black and 2 white.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
kind
of threw. I mean, why not?
Like reception, ceremony.
Yeah, so we did first look, ceremony, and then reception. So I figured why not have something different for each one.
Was it more stressful design? Do you design your own?
I did, yeah.
Is that more stressful?
Yes, just because I have too many ideas, but my ideas for myself always come very last minute. So I'm not very like set on what I want to do until like right before, and I kind of had to like, you know, be prepared.
It wasn't one that you were like drawing and changing since you were little or anything?
Oh, I never even thought I'd get married.
Me neither.
I wasn't drawing my wedding dress, let me tell you.
Yeah.
No, I've never. Just was like, here we go, we're doing it.
So did it take you longer or less time for yours?
Less time for sure. I would say I had some ideas and then I threw everything out, and then like a month before I was like, hey, let's go. I know what I want. So
I gotta get the clipboard again. I don't know where it is. But because I had one thing. No, I don't know. I can't read my own writing. So how many projects do you have on the go at once usually?
So it kind of depends. Like I'm trying to change things up a little bit so that I am like working on bigger projects as opposed to a bunch of smaller projects, I guess. But I mean, there's been years where I've done 20, I think my highest year was like 28 wedding dresses in a year. And then that's just wedding dresses.
Yeah.
So then on top of that is like hundreds of other like outfits and stuff like that too. So honestly, it's always so much. Like I'm working on a show right now for the Calgary Women's Show, and I'm doing the fashion show and I have a pop-up shop. So I'm trying to put together like 20 looks and then an entire pop-up shop too.
That's next week, right?
Yeah, that's the...
I guess when this comes out.
I wasn't sure, yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to get that together.
It's like a runway?
Yeah, so they asked me to produce the show and just have my looks on the runway.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that, but it's a lot.
How many of those kind of events are there in a year?
I used to do a lot more. Like since becoming a mom, it's like a little bit different. And COVID kind of changed things a lot, to be honest with you, as like shitty as it is to even like bring it up. But it did change a lot of that too. So I feel like I haven't done as many shows. I used to do the bridal expos and stuff like that here and in Edmonton. Just not my crowd. Like, so I kind of was like, I think I'm not really like getting the right clients from this. But it's good exposure regardless, for sure.
How do you do fittings when it's an order from out of town?
I just get them to send measurements and then I send it off. Like with my brides, I'll get them to go in and like fully get a tailor to do their measurements. Or like if you can figure it out, all I need really is like some photos and we can FaceTime and stuff like that. So that's usually like the out of town stuff is like a lot of FaceTime and emails and calls and pictures and stuff like that for sure.
So why is there if you said there's up to 10 for one dress?
Yeah. So that's just if the bride is like really needing to see her dress or like make changes that are smaller, I guess.
I've never had
trying to think of how to like put it, but somebody who's just really like in it and wants to be a part of every little thing, which is totally fine. I'm here for it. But like if someone really trusts me, I'll see them twice and we're good to go. But if you're like really looking for something specific and you want it to be like exactly this or that or fit or whatever, then I'm like, sure, come on in as I do everything and we can just keep trying it on and changing it. Or if something significant like somebody is working out a lot before the wedding and we got to change it, then we got to do a bunch of fittings to like alter and take it in or out or whatever.
Yeah, I imagine in a year, people's body can change quite a bit.
It's very rare, but it has happened 2 or 3 times, like significantly for sure. So, because everyone wants to like be in the best shape for their wedding and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah. So yeah, it's usually a lot of changes right towards the end for sure.
I've never had custom anything. I did get my my pants turned up for my wedding.
There you go.
Which I didn't like that process. I didn't like standing there. I'm worried about these needles. Yeah, or pins, I guess. I
mean, I've pinned a few brides.
Yeah?
I have. Yep.
Huh. Yep. I don't like that. I just don't want any part of it. So what do you think you're going to do sort of on your way to retire, like the end of your career in fashion? What thing will you keep going, like keep with the longest?
I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about getting older and then continuing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, you have a long time.
Yeah, well, God, I hope so.
But maybe you'll transition into more specific things. Yeah,
like I agree with you on that. Like I think I'm still in the middle of like finding what my niche is for sure. Like I know what my love is and what I love to do, and that's create like cool art and fashion, runway fashion. But you know, like I said, if you want to make it a career, you have to give and take on those things. But I mean, do I see myself being 50 and like making clothes in my studio and posting selfies? No. But I don't know what that direction means, to be honest with you. I don't see myself working in a bridal shop or something like that. Like, I don't know. I honestly am not really sure. I feel like I've always been kind of like a live each day type of person, which maybe isn't great, especially when you have kids. But I don't know. I don't know what that means in the future. I'd love to maybe open up a shop where I don't make the stuff anymore unless it's enjoyable at that time for me, but maybe open up a shop where I can sell different clothes and music and art and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I feel like that would be my like dream. For
Yeah,
sure.
that would be really cool.
Yeah, something different.
I could see you doing that.
Yeah, that has always been, I always wanted a spot like that. So
Yeah. How would you find someone to work for you? How would you find another you? It seems hard.
it is very hard.
Especially in a creative job.
And I'm such a control freak, so I don't know. I feel like I would just like die in that shop.
Maybe you have to wait till your kids.
I was just gonna say my
Yeah.
kids could do it for sure. Just wait it out.
I can't read my writing here. It's okay.
I feel like
We don't need this.
male writing is not
Well, you
the
know,
best sometimes.
I also don't know anything about fashion. I just threw this outfit together
it's
today.
perfect. It's very on brand for
It reminded
NRT.
me of you.
Yeah, the black
Yeah.
and white. And my next collection is like full on black and white.
Yeah?
Everything. Yeah, this
Is that sort of your signature?
it
thing
is.
then?
Yeah, I think that's been like since the beginning, just the consistent
Yeah.
thing.
That's why it was so easy to pick out my
yeah,
outfit.
and I feel like I've like created this like vibe where people just kind of know that regardless, because obviously my online presence is very like, you know, that's my thing, skulls and black and white stripes and Beetlejuice and the whole thing. So
There's a new Beetlejuice coming
I
out.
cannot wait. I
Yeah.
was like, I kept seeing, actually got a throwback, you know, the good old Facebook, like, this is what you said.
Yeah.
Embarrassing 10 years ago. But it was a Beetlejuice 2, like, spoof.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was coming out, and I'm like,
They've been saying it forever.
here it is.
That's-
It's
I
here.
didn't even believe
I
this
didn't
first one.
believe it. So someone else, like a whole bunch of people, DM'd it to me or texted it to me, like, have you seen? And I'm like, I'm not sure.
I was going to order a sweater. It's purple because I have purple sunglasses.
Yeah.
It has Lydia on it. And I didn't know her last name is Deets.
Deets, yeah.
There's the show.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I just put that together too.
So that's going to be...
Oh,
it's
that's so
on-
awesome.
Yeah.
My son was Beetlejuice for Halloween and my daughter was Lydia.
That's awesome. You got to see a picture of that.
It was a good one. It was a really good one.
Yeah, that's the vibe,
Yep.
right?
Yep. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about fashion. Someone also had a fan question about a stitch, a French seam.
A French seam.
Is that one?
It is a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Someone said, how do you do that?
I feel like I think I know what it is. I have done things so different.
Maybe that wasn't even what it was.
But it is. That is totally a thing. I'm pretty sure it's like rolled, like a double roll.
Oh,
But
French seam. That was the question.
It is a thing. I think it's like a double hem roll, but I don't quote me.
I sometimes buy clothes from Walmart.
You know what? So do I.
Yeah?
Honestly.
You probably make it work in a different way.
Yeah, you do what you got to do.
When you get clothes from places like that, do you...
Absolutely change it up to be.
Yeah.
But if I see something cool, I'm like, I don't give a shit where it's from. Like, I don't know. I'm not.
I try to dress for these podcasts pretty out there usually.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, you got to stand out.
Yeah, a little bit of personality to go against my monotone voice.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. I like it.
Yeah,
It works.
I mean, I do what I can.
It works.
It's sometimes a little out there, but if you approve...
I do
then-
approve. And being out there, that's, you know what? Like, my thing with fashion is wear whatever you want to wear. If that's going to make you feel good, then that's the one. That's the one.
Let's say you were going to give advice for someone to get into the industry.
I knew you were going to ask me this. And actually, this is my most hated question.
Scrap it.
No, but it's just, like, I always laugh and I say, don't.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Because it is so hard. It is so
You know what?
hard.
I asked that question to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for all of the industries, they
It's
say
the same
that.
thing. You know what? It's not don't. It's just get ready. Because honestly, it is so hard. And I think the biggest thing is if you don't have, like, for me personally, just the way that I've, like, developed my business is me doing everything. And thank God I just have motivation. Like, self-motivation for this type of stuff, I think, is the biggest thing. Which, I mean, sure, in anything. But when you're going to a job, you have to go to. Right? You have to show up. You're going to get fired. When you're your own boss and you're creating your own work environment, like, you're showing up just yourself, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's been the biggest thing is, like, that. But I mean, do it up. Like,
How would someone get like sort of ease into it? Is there a place you can work maybe?
See, I would go totally opposite from that. And I would say just learn as much as you can from whether it be courses or school or self-taught. I think that the best way to do anything is just do it, instead of like, if you want to be a designer instead of go work for somebody and then figure that out, because chances of you actually going and pursuing your dream is probably a lot more nil when you're caught up in working for somebody and comfortable. I think.
How would someone be unique and not sort of copy someone else?
That's a hard one, to be honest with you. It's a weird thing. Like, I've had a couple interns over the years, and I scrapped that as soon as someone copied the Vengeance coat. Yeah. And I was like, really? But things are so, like, everything's copied. Yeah. Really, in the end. Like, you see something and then you take that and you turn it into your own. You're still technically copying, right? So nothing's really in the clothing industry, I saw
an article this morning about fashion designers using AI to predict trends or come up with new.
Sew clothes on old sewing machines and do it on the runway, but I mean, I don't know.
That, I guess, is copied too. I mean, they have to take it from somewhere.
100%. Like, you know what my sister told me the other day? A client wrote me an email, and I read it because I was like, what is this? It was just so like calculated.
Oh, it was like a chat GPT.
She told me that you can do that. I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
No, I am down on my old sewing machines making clothes. I had no idea you can literally put in something and then it generates what to say.
Yeah. Like, if there's a TV show you like that's been canceled, you can just get them to write one more episode.
I just can't.
I've been joking that I wrote my vows with chat GPT.
I mean, I would have.
I got to tell her soon that I wrote them from the heart.
I didn't know it was a thing. I thought you could just like make your face look all weird with that AI thing. And
there's a lot of things.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah.
You could probably just click design new wedding dress.
100%. And then it would like fully do everything. So it's a dying art.
I don't know, but I think you do well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What are we at, Chris?
43 minutes.
43 minutes. We've got time. We've got time. Too much time. Can you teach me something?
Teach you something?
I don't know anything about fashion. Like I said, I just this is a H&M.
See,
H&M.
But I am like so off the norm of what you're supposed to, even with my like sewing. I don't even do it the way you're supposed to really do it.
How do you do it?
Like, I just kind of like, as I go, I like learn something new every time I do something, which is good and bad. But I mean, like, there's specific things like the French seam.
Yeah.
I don't know, just hamming and figuring it out. Like, it's a weird thing because there's so many ways of how to do stuff, and then there's my way, which is just like make it fit and figure it out. And
I think you have very cool style.
Thank you.
It's the coolest out of anyone I've ever seen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that's what created the clientele, I guess.
Yeah.
Is because because of my style. And
do you only use Instagram, or do you actually have a TikTok?
God, no. Oh my God. Instagram. I can't even.
You could do, I have an idea.
Know.
You throw something you made up, and then when it lands, it's on your body.
If I could figure out how to do that, I would love to do that.
Okay. Well, I'll make a TikTok with you one day.
Okay, let's do it.
I'll buy something from you, and you can throw it at me.
And you'll put it on.
It'll be on.
Go. Okay.
Magic. I don't know how they do it.
I'm just
We're gonna
not
have to.
tech savvy at all.
Yeah, you can do it. He can do it.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
I gotta browse your. Do you have men's stuff on?
I have some T-shirts and stuff. We can do. We can do it with that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, I need to learn.
Yeah, and then you'll have one TikTok, and it'll go
viral.
Do you live close to here?
No, but it's not that far.
Well, we could just do it right here.
I was gonna say we could do it in here. It would be cool. Yeah. I like that idea.
We're gonna do that. And then, so people can shop on your site for.
Yeah, nrtfashions.com. I usually update it like every little bit with some new stuff, and then everything's kind of like exclusive because once the fabric's gone, like I'm done. That's it. So it's cool because you're getting like either one of a kind or like one of maybe 10 of a kind kind of thing, other than the vengeance coats, because I've probably sold thousands of those.
So how you have those and custom on the site too?
So for custom, that's such a odd, like basically people message me on Instagram like I need to change that, but I still check it all just because that's how you get business.
I'll put your Instagram right.
Perfect.
I don't know where the screen ends, but right down here.
Okay, perfect.
That's good.
Yeah, so online I have like a contact form.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of how all my brides and custom come is just go to the contact form, drop me a line, hey, looking to get something made, and then I'll shoot back my kind of basic info for weddings. Like there's a whole spiel of, you know, pricing and minimums and how everything works. And then for custom, it's like send me some pictures or ideas, and then we'll get rolling from there.
I meant to ask, you said you had something go terribly wrong once with FedEx or delivery.
Yeah, last year actually. So I had a bride contact me. She'd actually been following me since like day one in Chicago, and she wanted me to make her wedding dress. And she was so cool. We like designed the coolest dress and jumpsuit. And I was like so on, and we got everything ready to send out, and I went in and sent it through FedEx, and gone. Like we were tracking it. There was nowhere for it to be found. They could not tell us where this package was. Like,
was it close to the date of?
Thankfully, I sent it out 2 months before. Like I got lucky because this dress was fully beaded, and her jumpsuit, so it was all black, and they were fully beaded. Like, oh my God, hundreds of hours on this stuff, and like we were just like hoping it would show up. It didn't show up. So we're like, hey, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't even know. I have a new baby. Like, I don't even know how to deal with this. And then thankfully her, I think it was her mom, Angel, bought the fabric that we had originally bought. So expensive too. Had it shipped, rushed, and then I whipped that thing up in both of the outfits in like 4 weeks, and then she flew here to come.
That's crazy because you
up.
said it takes like a year, right?
Yeah, and those outfits were so much work. Like probably a top most work I think I've ever
and you got
put
it done
into
in 4 weeks.
And I just like put aside everything and
were you just
did it
working like all day every day?
pretty much, except I had a like 6-month-old baby, so I was like a little bit of both.
So it never showed up?
It never showed up. We like to this day we've been checking, like she's in the States, it's what, Poshmark or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll keep checking, like if someone posts it trying to sell it or something. Like it was so weird. I don't know.
That's
it
horrible.
just gone. Yeah, it was gone. So she flew in, and then we had about 4 hours to do any alterations, and she flew out with them that day. So that was wild.
I was gonna ask your best and worst moments. That sounds like the worst.
Also the best though, to be honest, just because of how great in the end, like we made it happen. They were so great. I feel so bad for her. I can only imagine how stressful that was on her too. But she just ordered another dress, and she's a great client. So we made it work.
What about your own best and worst fashion moments? Do you look back at some pictures?
God. Oh my God.
And you're
I was always
change your
me.
mind?
I was always me. And that's one thing that I can say for always through my career is I always was like whatever I felt like at that moment, and that's what I did. But my God, no.
Is there any pictures that you have deleted or anything? Just like, I can't look at that. I don't want to see that fashion again.
No, because I feel like it's all a part of like the journey. But I feel like I've evolved a lot into more fashion instead of more rock and roll concert goer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was me for a while.
What did you wear when you were younger?
Well, I would never wear jeans, refused. So I wore like purple flared pants a lot. I was like a basketball, like sports girl. So I was like in hoodies and basketball shorts forever.
So no one expected this.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But as soon as I moved to Vancouver and I kind of got in there, it really like went this direction.
Were you creative in other ways? Like art?
Not until school. Like my sister was always like, she's a graphic designer, and so she was always kind of like the drawing and all that kind of stuff, and I never really like got into it because I thought, oh, I suck. And then I went to school and I started drawing, and the teacher was like, this is so cool, like you should be, you know, doing this and that. And then I really got into like a part of my custom and my bridal is that they get a sketch of the gown with the
I've seen your sketches.
Yeah, and honestly it's been like a huge thing, which is really cool because I never thought that would be a thing. And then I dabbled in a little bit of like art and stuff. I did some stuff, I don't know if you heard of the dark arts when they were around. So I did a bunch of art and stuff that I had on display there. So that was kind of cool. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself like an artist or painter, but I'm an artist in my own way. Like clothing and fashion is my art, but
people might frame. Do they frame that?
Yeah, all the time. It's like a nice keepsake. And
you're an artist then.
Thank you. Okay, I'm an artist.
I think we're good for time now. We're about 53 minutes.
1 minute off.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a watch. Should I get a watch?
I usually wear my Fitbit, but I was like, doesn't really go with
I'm asking you because you're a fashion designer.
They should wear a watch?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like watches, I would, but it's not like a fit.
Do you like this ring? I have a ring now. I've never worn a ring before.
Well, she's going to want you to wear that.
Yeah, it's stressing me out. So claustrophobic.
So weird. You'll get used to it.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I kind of just take my headphones off. The show's done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Thanks.
all she wrote.